Hi guys, it's Melanie and welcome back to Living Luxuriously for Less. I know you guys are really excited about the new year and all of the wonderful things that are in store, but I think it's so important for us to take the opportunity to sit back and reflect and think about those things that we don't want to carry with us in the new year. Those things that have prevented us from reaching the goals and the plans and the visions that God has given us. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 10 things that I will not be taking into 2020. So get your notebook, grab your cell phone, because we are getting ready to spill this tea and we are going to start off the new year right. Okay, you guys, so we're going to get started with number 10. And I think this is probably one of the things that has definitely held me back in the past, and that is procrastination. Because I always second guess myself, or at times I think that I have more time than I actually have, I tend to kind of procrastinate and continue to push things back, and then I'm not able to give it my all when it's time to deliver on that project. So procrastination, or the spirit of procrastination, is definitely something that I'm going to leave behind in 2019 as I enter into 2020. Guys, so number 9 would definitely have to be self-doubt. Like not believing in myself or doubting the things that I know are a gift from God, the things that I know that I prayed about and that God has told me to move on, but just being afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone and stepping out of those things that I know that God has called me to do, maybe because so many people have done it, maybe because I failed before and I don't want to fail again. Whatever that case may be, self-doubt is definitely something that I have to let go in 2019 as I enter into 2020 if I'm going to manifest all of the dreams and all of the goals and all of the visions that God has for me in this year. Okay, you guys, so number 8 would definitely be worry. I have to let go of worry in 2020. I cannot take worry with me. The Bible says to acknowledge God in all of your ways and He will direct your path. So as we give these desires and dreams and these cares that we have over to God, we have to release the worry in order to fulfill the destiny and the purpose that He has for us. It is quite natural for us to worry about those things that we are not sure about. But if we're going to walk in faith, we have to be able to walk in complete faith and not fear. Which brings me to number 7. Number 7, I have to release fear in 2020. Faith and fear cannot reside together, just like oil and water. They can't reside together. So if I'm going to choose to walk by faith in every area of my life, whether it's financial, whether it's physical, whether it's professional, whether it's in my family, whether it's relational, I have to be able to walk by faith in every area in my life. And faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So just because I don't see it does not mean that it's not possible, and it does not mean that I'm not able to achieve it. It simply challenges me to walk by faith, to be able to achieve those things that God has for me and that He's had for my life. The Jeremiah 29:11 that He predestined just for me. 2020 is negativity. You guys, there is so many different ways and so many different forms that negativity can come in your life. It's just not through people. It can be through posts on Facebook. It can be through media outlets. It can be through watching the news. I mean, the newspaper, various articles, listening to people talk about other people. All of these things are different ways that we can introduce negativity into our daily lives. So my goal for 2020 is to eradicate as much negativity that I allow into my life as possible, whether it's changing some of the people that I follow that tend to post negative things, or talking to people who always tend to think about the negative aspects of everything. I mean, nothing. I mean, they don't see the positive side or aspect of anything. So just releasing every aspect of negativity in 2020 is going to be essential to me. And kind of curtailing along with negativity is also naysayers. those individuals who always speak against that dream or that goal or that vision that you have for your life. It's okay to have someone in your life that gives you constructive criticism, but what I'm talking about is that person who always finds something wrong. You can tell the person that the sun is shining, and that person is going to say, well, in the forecast, there was a 0.555% chance of rain. And you know how these forecasters be. Like, those are the people you need to let go, okay? You can tell the person, oh my gosh, my hair grew 5 inches, and that person will tell you, well, 3 of them dead ends you need to cut off. That's the negative person you need to release in your life. Like, you don't need to have them. The naysayers, those negative Nancys, those negative individuals who they are pessimistic, they don't see the positive aspect of anything, cut them out in 2020. And you'll be much happier. You'll be very happy that you did, okay? So the next one that definitely I will need to release in 2020 is weights. And the Bible says to lay aside every sin and every weight. So weights are not necessarily things that we are doing ourselves, but it could be things that we have allowed to become a part of our life, like, you know, taking on someone else's problems and someone else's stresses. It's okay for us to give them an answer to a problem, but when we make that problem our problem, then it becomes a weight. So I definitely have a lot of weights to release in 2020. Some of them are weights that I just assumed. No one asked me to do it. I just took it upon myself to assume that weight. And then some of them are weights that, you know, have been placed on me by other people. So in 2020, I will definitely be laying aside every sin and every weight. Okay, so the number 3 thing that I will be releasing in 2020 is a spirit of control. Now, this is something very tough for me to do, simply because whenever my mom was a single mother, there were a lot of things that I had to be responsible for, and when things were my responsibility, I wanted total control over those things to make sure they worked well. And this is definitely something that I need to do in every aspect of my life, including my marriage, because again, I was used to making things happen, and if I didn't make it happen, it wasn't going to happen. So I definitely need to learn how to relinquish control in every area of my life so that I can flourish as fully as God has intended for me to flourish. So 2020 control is definitely something that I have to let go. Okay, so the second thing that I would definitely need to release in 2020 would be overthinking. There are so many times that I take something really simple and I make it very difficult just because I think about it over and over again. I overprocess the information that I'm given, which leads me to procrastination, which leads me to rushing and doing all of this. So definitely overthinking is something that I am going to have to release in 2020. Okay, you guys, so the number 1 thing that I will be letting go in 2020 is self-rejection. And a lot of us think about being rejected by other people, but we don't think about rejecting ourselves. And self-rejection is such a huge thing, and I think it plays a large part in our self-esteem, like lowering our self-esteem, as well as, you know, being very displeased or depressed with ourselves and with our lives. So I think it's so imperative for us not to reject ourselves based on how we look or how we feel or what size we wear, or, you know, any of those things that really don't make a difference at the end of the day. So I'm going to be very cognizant of self-rejection in this year, and I'm going to show myself more love, more self-love, more self-support, and all of those things that makes me the individual that God has created me to be. Okay, you guys, so that wraps up the 10 things that I will be leaving in 2019 as I enter into 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear which one of those 10 things that I talked about in this video resonated with you most, and what things did I leave off of my list that you would definitely include in your list. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts around that as well. I want to thank you guys so much for all of your continuous and unwavering support. It is because of you that I'm able to live out a dream and a destiny that I never deemed imaginable. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're going to make 2020 an exceptional year, and we are going to enter the year with clear vision. 2020 is going to be amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, it's Melanie with Living Luxuriously for Less. Cheers.